Hey, how you doing? This right here is wood, clearly. It's got some lichen on it. It looks like a pretty normal piece of wood. Even if you look at it under the bark, it's still fairly common looking. But this actually has a very cool secret. If we cut it in half, we find that this deceptively regular looking wood here actually has a very striking green color on the center. This is sumac. Not poison sumac, but if we put it on the lathe and see what happens to it, you'll notice that it has a beautiful grain structure and a striking color that reminds me a lot of pistachios. I originally only came by this wood because I found a tree that we'd cut down, and the wood was just cut up, and then I looked at the side and I was asking my dad about it, and he was like, oh, that's poison sumac. I did some research, and it turns out this poison sumac is not so poisonous. It's actually staghorn sumac, which is often mistaken for poison sumac, not because they look similar, but because many people, when they hear the term sumac, they assume that it means poison sumac, and most people who are familiar with sumac in general are just familiar with the poison species. But this is just staghorn sumac. It has red drupes that are used to make tea. The tree in general has been historically used to make for tanning, and it just has such a beautiful color. Let me show you. Take a look at that. Is that not beautiful right off the bat? My sincerest apologies to anyone who does wood turning and had to witness that. I am not by any means practiced at this. But I think from this crappy little shape that I threw together, it's pretty easy to see what I mean about the grain. It's a beautiful color and it has such a nice grain pattern. So what I'm doing here is I'm making a pipe out of this because it has been used as a wood for pipes traditionally. Generally I have a setup like this to keep the workpiece straight and a $10 long ass drill bit from Home Depot, and I can just put that in there and it goes all the way through. But something that I've noticed about this wood is that the pith is very easy to just dig out with my fingers. So I'm wondering if I can just skip the whole drilling setup and just it was incredibly easy to drill through, and it landed me right on the pith on the other side. Oh, that's a horrible noise. Pull it out this piece. I'm going to slap it on the lathe, and I am going to turn a pipe out of it. Now, because of its high tannins, sumac has always been used for tanning, believe it or not. But it's also been used, the drupes of it, the red drupes of it, have been used to make teas, and I believe it has some medicinal properties that have been used. I couldn't tell you. Wikipedia told me, so if you want more information, you're going to have to go there. All I know is that it looks cool. But I'm going to try and turn a pipe stem out of this, and because it's so soft as a wood, I'm going to do my best to turn it fairly thick and hopefully not split this piece. as you can clearly see right here, we have the stem. It's kind of cool looking. Look at that. I like it, at least. Now, this wood does have a few problems. The biggest one that I've seen is how soft it is. It's a very, very soft wood, and the wood I'm working with is still very wet. It's only been cut down for a few weeks, and it's just nowhere near the level of dryness you'd want to genuinely work with it for anything. I'm really only doing this as a decorative piece. What I'm going to do next, I'm going to make the bowl. And a big thing with this is the end grain turns weird. Like, you can't get a consistent end grain, and it frays very much. You can't even really sand it down easily, at least in my experience. I'll be using this piece cut from the same log to make the bowl. We've got both of these pieces done. They're still pretty rough. The ends of both of them need to be sanded. So I'm going to do the sanding right now. Once I'm done with the sanding, I'm going to take a drill bit, put it into the side here, make a mortise for this joint here to go into, glue them together, and then make a bowl, and then connect the bowl down here so air could get through. Use this to mark it. I think right there. Looks good. Got a little divot there. That's what I was worried about. Just tore the side out, which is not what I wanted. I don't know. I guess I'm gonna. It's almost there. Hold up. Let me think about this for a second. As you can see, my lack of the correct size drill bit to accommodate this sized hole, this sized joint, led to a broken project. But like most things in my life, I'm hoping it can be saved with a copious amount of wood glue. That does mean this project will probably never be able to be used because of the toxic fumes, but who needs a working pipe when you have a pipe that looks cool? So I'm just going to try and wood glue it back together. Alright, I got it in a wood vise with as much pressure as I could get on it without feeling like it was going to break it. I hope it works out. I hope I can make it look good. I hope everything's fine with it, but if it's not, no big deal. It was never meant to be functional anyway. It was just a cool looking wood that I was going to try and make a cool looking project out of, and I think as long as it still looks cool, I've succeeded. So, I have no idea what the future holds, but I'm tired of waiting, so let's see. Alright, I let it dry overnight, and without further ado, here it is. Now, you can see, if you take a closer look here, you can definitely see the green color. Maybe it'll fade as the wood oxidizes, I have no clue. But along the back here, there's a crack you can see, so, you know, craftsmanship's a little shoddy, but that doesn't change the fact that I am proud of this, and I do love the way it looks. I think it looks awesome. So even if there is room to improve in the future, that doesn't change the fact that I am proud of this. Break out the confetti. Alright, that's all. Love you. Bye.